What is good, Spuds? This is Jesse Whitedeer of the Needless Potatoes podcast, starring me, Jesse Whitedeer. We are not popular in Ireland, apparently, because of our name. But Ireland, we still love you. We still love all of you for listening and supporting this podcast. And we love our guests today. They are Crobone. They are the power trio from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. And we sit down and we talk about how they came to be, how the band formed, road stories, favorite venues to play, all that good stuff. You'll even get to meet their mystery drummer. He's an awesome guy. Speaking of drummers, shout outs to Logan Wood. He says we never talk about him on this podcast, so this is us talking about him right now. And if you really love us, you'll go to anchor.com/Jesse Whitedeer, or you'll search Needless Potatoes podcast on anchor.com and hit that support tab. You give us any amount of money you'd like. Or if you're not with that, you can comment on this podcast, you can share it, you can tell a friend, you can do all that good stuff. And you can support us, and we love you for it. You can find Crobone on Facebook and Instagram under Crobone Band, and you can support them as well. You can even look up their music, and they have a gnarly album out there, which we talk about. So hey guys, thank you so much for listening. We love all of you. We'll see you next Friday, and have a beautiful weekend. Hello everybody. This is Jesse Whitedeer here with the mighty Crobone. How you doing, guys?
Hey.
What's up?
What up?
This mic stands cold on my tank. It is. It's been in your car for a while.
Well, it's been in the freezer along with
You
body
set
parts.
that up. You made this happen.
Well, I already told you about that. I'm not going to say his name, but I already told you about that dude with his abandoned house.
Yeah, that's scary,
That was
dude.
kind of spooky.
I wouldn't want to be.
He'll
any
be
part of
listening
that,
to this,
be
so I
honest.
don't want to tell the story. Off air, though.
I would want to be a part of it just because it's really exciting in a
didn't-
bad way.
Well, he didn't have any water. That was kind of scary.
You asked for water.
I was like, can I have water in this abandoned house, please?
He's like, I don't have any.
He was like, I don't have no boy.
I don't have any water.
You talk like Hank Hill. Oh, Bobby.
You gotta go dig your own well. He said, go outside and dig your own
Walt,
well.
is that what the hole's for? Is like you're making Mikey dig his own grave?
Oh, we don't talk about it
Oh, okay.
Not anymore.
Hey, Walt Jr.
not anymore.
He's amped up. Anyways, so why don't you guys go ahead, go around, introduce yourself. We got
Michael Hamilton. James Michael Hamilton, as per birth certificate.
what do you play?
Guitar.
Okay.
I play the guitar.
What about you, Captain Walt?
This is Salty Walt here, and I play the big guitar.
All right. And you guys want to introduce this guy, right?
Said big guitar. Our new drummer. His name is.
Dustin Fox.
He's really hot.
Breaking news. Yeah. He is pretty hot.
As far as the
Thanks,
hot
Jess.
scale goes, it's Dustin Fox at the top,
So is he hot D?
Walter at second,
Okay.
me third.
I feel like you and Walter could battle out for a second. So on any given
Well,
night, you guys are one of you guys
no.
are second.
No.
We'll try it out later, but we'll both be too insecure to even fight.
Oh, you guys.
For sure.
That's so.
We'll just be
Cute.
like the two cars stuck at the stops, the four-way stop, like trying to.
You
pretend
go.
Like,
You go.
No,
You
no,
go.
you go.
So wait. So if Dustin's the hot one now, hot D is what we're gonna call him.
Yeah,
If,
might as well.
if he's hot D, you don't mind if I call you hot D, do you?
Not at all.
All right.
I've been using D-Train.
Ladies and gentlemen, here comes hot D. Ba-dum-cha.
Yeah.
They need to put you in front then. Like you're in front and then the other two are in the back.
I'm honestly not opposed to that.
Well, I know what you guys need is you need to go back to back and then you need one of those like spiral things that just like rotates.
No, I did see Muse in concert once, and they had that, but that thing went good 20, 30 feet in the air. It was crazy.
What band was it that they were going to bust out of those like eggs or whatever and the guitars got stuck?
Oh, Spinal Tap.
Yeah.
That's the movie.
Well, that
Spinal
one, but
Tap?
that also happened in real life to another band.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
I can't remember it.
I wish I knew that.
Well, yeah, the Spinal Tap, of course. But
Yeah,
anyways,
that's great.
so we're here in Walter's house. He's nice enough to let us over in beautiful Oklahoma City.
Oh yes, my mead hall, as I call her.
Okay. Is that what he calls it, Mikey?
He calls it a lot of things, but Mead Hall is one of them.
shithole a couple times.
Why'd you ask me?
You seem like you know him longest out of all of
but
us.
like when I have to explain him saying meat hall, it sounds like there's a sexual thing going between us, which there is, but I don't care to anybody talk.
We
about
weren't
it.
supposed to talk about that. Okay, I'm sorry. We'll just edit that part out.
And it's meat hall, as far as I'm concerned.
That's all I was hearing.
Yeah, not
That's-
mead.
Don't tell him my secrets.
But Walt does make beer.
Yeah, he does.
Soon to make mead, right?
What's the name of that beer you got downstairs, Walter?
That's a double blood orange IPA. It's been keg soured.
Okay.
Sounds delicious.
I haven't tried it yet.
Yeah.
It's just a vampire. It's like a vampire bait.
Blood orange, right?
Clone. Yeah.
What was the one I had that you sent me home with?
You had the cream ale.
Yeah, that was good. That was a good one.
You guys need to speak up just a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I know Walter's the dad. He's used to giving out the orders. Use your dad voice, Walter.
All right. You know, it takes a lot of energy, okay, to use the dad voice. You know,
It's
like,
louder.
I don't want to be the guy. I don't want to be the guy you guys are making me be. Okay, this is the decision you want to make right now. That's the dad voice. You know, I feel like Batman, where you're like, you know, you're like a billionaire beating up, homeless people.
And the Joker.
Is that a good volume for him?
That is, yeah.
Is this a better volume for me?
Yeah,
Okay, fuck.
absolutely.
God.
This is not my natural timbre or whatever.
Well, all right. We're already 6 minutes in, and
Uh-oh.
this thing's gone nowhere. Well, thanks for listening, guys.
Well, that's what fixing it in post is for.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
You know, you just edit some parts out and smush some stuff together. You know, halftime a couple things, make it slap a bit. Good to go.
Yeah.
All right.
When's your next comedy? When's your next comedy show?
The next comedy show. I don't have anything planned. So for those of you that are wondering what in the world's going on, I did 2 comedy shows in Ada at the Grandview. They were nice enough to let us do that. And the first one went terrible. The second one went all right.
What you mean terrible?
Well, it wasn't good. Well, actually, that's not the first time I ever did it. Was at the Root, courtesy of Electra. She was nice enough to invite me up, and I did that one. And I think you were there.
I
tail end.
popped in for just like as long as I could stay. It was awesome.
Yeah,
That-
shout out to Electra.
Yeah, shout out to Electra and the Root.
Badass.
There's quite a bit of people there.
Yeah, no one laughed. so
What?
I did 5 minutes, and I think I went into one of my more famous bits, and I told the story and everything about how I got fired from the place,
Blah blah blah.
from the blah 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 from the place, and then they for pooping my pants. Which you guys can cuss, by the way. You can say what you want. But for, defecating in my britches. And then no one laughed. And one woman was like, ooh, the whole time. And-
She's just grossed out.
Well, no. And then there was this other guy who was like, I like that. That's a killer laugh, man. I like that laugh.
What? Oh, my bad.
No, it's awesome. Please laugh.
So it's the only way I know how most days. If you
But-
get me to laugh real hard, I sound like I'm dying and wheezing. If I was a Pokemon, I'd be wheezing. That's the Pokemon name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, wheezing. That'd be me. So what made the
but
one terrible?
but so that first one, I told my stories. No one laughed, and that one woman was like, "Ew," or "Oh," is what she'd say. And then her husband was like, I could hear him whispering to her because so I'm on stage and they're probably maybe 5 feet in front of me, so I can hear what they're saying, and they're not like heckling me. They're just like I can hear their conversation. And the husband was like, "Why would anybody tell that story?" And then, so I got off stage,
Fuck
and then,
that guy.
so I got off stage, and I was like, "Ooh, that didn't go good." And then Electra came up, and she was really nice. She was really supportive. She thought it was great, and she gave me a hug and everything. And then I was like, "Well, I guess," because I drove to the Route, because that was on a Thursday, I think. I drove up there just for that, and then I had to be at work the next morning. And this was probably at the beginning of the year, I think. So I go and do that, and then she's real nice and supportive. And then this other dude came up, and he was like, "Hey man, I liked your set. And then there was like one dude at the bar who kind of like he looked like what was it? He looked like Nelly, but like bald and old. And he kind of tipped his hat to me, and then that was about it. And I was if fucking
That's all you took home.
yeah yeah. I was like, well if like old Nelly. Whoa, Nelly. Old Nelly. If old Nelly, like, appreciated enough to tip his hat to me, then that's all you can ask for. No.
Yeah, it's going down, baby.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, right. No, he didn't do that. He, and then I just got out of there. And then so then we did the first one with a few friends of mine. And I was like, well, no one wants to open, so I'll open. And then I did my set, which was a lot different material than the second time. And then, yeah, it went okay. Like I got a few laughs and stuff, but I told that story. I redefined that story about me pooping myself. And one of the complaints that the venue got was that people were offended that I told the story about how I pooped my own pants and ruined the best job I ever had. So no one felt sorry for me that I.
Are you serious?
Yeah, yes. Like someone was like, "Yeah, I didn't really like that story. That was pretty gross."
You gotta be shitting me.
But yeah.
You gotta be shitting me.
Badooch. You sure you're not the comedian in here?
Oh, I'm sure.
But but a friend of mine, he had told a rape joke, in that night, and people were less offended by that than they were about me pooping myself.
God.
Yes.
Wow.
And
What?
and the bad part was like there's a really big crowd in there, and there was this really beautiful woman there, and we had talk. I'd seen her around and stuff, so I was like, "Fuck yeah, I'm gonna go up here, kill this set." I'm just gonna walk up to her and be like, "Did you like that? We should go out to dinner sometime."
My man.
Yeah. And then I bombed. Well, I felt like I bombed, and then I didn't do good. I was really nervous, and then when I went up to her, like she was smiling at me, but I couldn't even pull the trigger. I was just like, "Did you like that set?" And she was like, "Yeah, you were really good." I was like, "Oh, yeah." So I was like, left. I was like, I don't even reserve to talk to you. So yeah. So then, but the second time, nobody was there, and then I killed my set, which is on YouTube, by the way. It's under Jesse White Deer. And then it's along with two of my other buddies. So shout out to Zach Collins and Brandon Roberts. And there was another gentleman there named James Curtis.
Is that the recording I listened to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
you got a lot of good responses out of that.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Like
I liked it.
Yeah. So but oddly enough, everyone's favorite joke is about me pooping myself. So I don't know. It's worked out.
I don't know. Maybe it's because you hang out with degenerates. And that's funny.
Well, yeah, that's true. I did. My mom did ask me what I was doing tonight, and I was like, I'm going to drive up to Oklahoma City and record a podcast with the mighty Crobone. And she was like, "Who?" And I said, "Exactly."
Exactly. That's all you need to know.
No, she didn't say that actually, but I told her, and then she was watching The Mandalorian, and then she just like didn't care. She was like, "Oh, okay." And then like on the way up here, she texted me and was like, "So where'd you go?" So thanks, Mom.
Essentially.
Yeah.
The same shit.
But so you guys have been around for a little bit, right? A few years. About what, 4 years, 4 or 5 years?
I'd say 4 for sure.
Coming up
if I
on
was
4.
not counting, but yeah, about 4. And we got a new drummer now, and we're gonna start painting the walls red.
Painting the walls red. What does that even mean? There's purple walls in here.
Well, it's dried, so it turned purple.
That's what. Yeah, I don't know if you knew that, but that's what happened.
That's what happens
Oh.
with blood.
Yeah. Eminem rapped about
They
that.
are. It's funny. Every time it gets pointed out how purple these walls are, I'm like, fuck, they are super purple. That's color of magic, man.
It's the color of creativity. I thought it would be the perfect shade for like a band room, a creative space.
I like it.
I had a plum Red Bull on the way up here, and it was good. So
Nice.
maybe this is fate.
I'm telling you, purple's one of my favorite colors.
Mine too.
Mine too.
Purple Rain. Did you guys see that movie?
Bits and pieces, I think.
Okay.
That's a real movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With Prince in it.
I haven't seen it yet.
He wrote and starred in his own movie,
Of course he did.
which Vanilla Ice would copy that later, and he wrote a movie called Cool as Ice. That's a real story.
Of course he did.
And he's a motorcycle. I think he's on a motorcycle, and he wears glasses through most of the movie. And his name is Johnny, and he's like a bad boy. Like, yeah, I wear a leather jacket and drive around this motorcycle. And then I think
7 cans of hairspray in his hair.
yeah. So shout outs to Vanilla Ice for doing it big.
Yeah.
I'm just saying if
What does he even look like now? Have you seen a recent photo?
He's got neck tattoos, and he's a juggalo now. So
Are you serious?
Yeah, really. He does stuff with like ICP and yeah.
He's also big in the metal scene, I'm pretty sure, too.
Yeah, because he re-recorded Ice Ice Baby as Cold as Ice, and it's him. It's like a hard rock, yeah, hard rock cover. It's like almost like a light Godsmack where he's like Ice Ice Baby, and then the guitar riff goes Ice Ice Baby.
Really?
Really, for real.
I'm a peep this.
I'd play it for you guys, but he'd probably sue us. So
Yeah, we don't want that.
yeah, we don't want to get.
Chances are I might not even listen to it at all.
But no, he I had an opportunity to see him at because my mom had won tickets when she was working at her last job, or one of her past jobs rather, and she won 2 tickets, and it was like in Shawnee at the time, and yeah, we just ended up going.
Was it good?
Well, no. I mean, we didn't go.
Oh,
I
you didn't end up going.
I didn't end up going. No. But like, that would have been cool because I drove all the way to Windstar to see Smash Mouth with a buddy of mine, and it was amazing. And you know that like when what Superstar came on or Rockstar or whatever that song's called, I was like standing up, getting into it and stuff, and you had all these like moms out there rocking, dancing and stuff, and he was like throwing out Doug, I think his name is, the lead singer. He was like throwing out glow sticks and stuff. And then everyone got real hyped for Rockstar, Superstar, or whatever.
Somebody
once told me. Yeah. Anyway, so
there's that one guy on like YouTube or whatever, Facebook. He does like all these other like songs and just sings those lyrics.
Yeah, it's like he does one to "Smells Like Teen Spirit," where he does the melody and he plays the guitar, an acoustic guitar, and then he does the
yeah, that's hilarious.
Superstar lyrics.
It's so funny.
So I don't know. It's people dig it, I guess. But going back to your band, the important stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're here to talk about that. Yeah, it's been around 4 years. Why? Because you guys write about like cavemen and Dungeons and Dragons and wizards and all that rad stuff. Why that subject matter? Is it just that stuff that you're into, or is it just came to you in a dream?
It's do you want me to answer this?
No, that's it.
It looks like you're prepared.
I got you.
Eat that shit alive, son.
Or I just say it's.
No, go ahead. No, you go ahead.
Don't do this to me.
I'm just kidding. For real, go ahead. For real, I won't fuck around anymore.
No, that's the best part. It's fucking around. It really is more along the lines of through media that we liked as a kid. A lot of that was fantasy based, but we're simply building a world and using these characters to describe the story of your triumph over everyday life. Essentially, everybody out there is the term that Michael uses often is weed whacking. You're making ends meet.
Or as people from Minnesota say, weed whipping.
Weed whipping.
That's something I just recently learned.
Just the grind of existence. And, you can write about that stuff and it be very straightforward, but we found that it feels like we're using our creative juices better, that everything is a story, but there's a deeper meaning behind the story.
Mm-hmm. Fantasy metaphorical meanings and too. Yeah. Well said.
Mm-hmm. That was very well spoken.
That's why you said it.
I was ready. It's like, Got that
No,
one in the
that's
bag.
awesome though. And I think one of my favorite songs by you guys is Planet Cracker.
Mm-hmm.
And I just
Betty
love
Crocker.
Betty Crocker. Yeah, that's kind of like
that'll-
overalls and Oberon. Anytime Oberon goes to Railhead, which I don't know this guy's name, but it's always the same guy that's like, "Hey, is overalls playing tonight? Is Uber Balls playing tonight? Hey, is that band Overalls? Is that they got that song Carhartt, right?
Carhartt. Oh my
And I
god.
was like, dude, why are you even talking to me?
Yeah.
That's how that's my gimmick is I'm in hill mode 100%. So when people talk to me, I'm like, why are you talking to me?
Well, and I think a stranger that would like speak with you and you're making fun of them, they would never know it. I feel like you got one of those like stone faces that you could just say whatever you want.
I found that because when I listen to my like these recordings or like I listen to my stand up, I find that my voice is very monotoned.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, God damn, no wonder I was never getting laid in high school. If this is what I sound like.
Yeah.
I mean, no. So I always thought it was me and my lack of personality, but just me and my monotone ass voice.
It's perfect.
Thanks. It's perfect for podcasting, right? So,
I think so.
well, thank you, man.
Yeah, you're welcome. You want to make out?
Maybe later.
Since we're stroking each other already.
I know, right? But so Planet Cracker, and I just love that it's like the riff, and then it's like Planet Cracker, and then I don't know what you say afterwards.
That chorus is always always made me feel like I'm watching like Biker Mice from Mars or Gargoyles
Dude,
or
right?
Mummies Alive, if
Yeah.
anybody remembers that one.
Fuck yeah, Biker Mice from
It's-
Mars, hell yeah.
The chorus is like totally set up for like a cartoon that you watched when you was a kid in the 90s or something.
Is that like that Mega Man, like superhuman fighting robot Mega Man?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much all those songs, dude.
Hell yeah.
We just, but the chorus for sure is like, it's cartoon themed. Planet Cracker, and you don't know any of the lyrics after that. Can you guess? Can you give me a guess?
Dawn of a New Day.
Oh,
Dawn
what
of
the
a New Day.
fuck, Jesse?
That's not even.
Well, that was
close.
like Pillars when I first. I still don't know what DJ says, but when he's like, I know what he says, but like I can't remember. So sorry, DJ. But in my mind, he says, "From the pillars, from the sky, ride the lightning, ride the storm," and I thought he was making a Metallica reference. So when they first started playing that song, I was like, "Dude, I love that Metallica reference." He was like, "What in the world are you talking about?" And he was like, "Why are you talking to me?" No, he didn't say that, but he was like, "Huh?" And I was like, "Yeah." When you and I like sung his lyrics to him, and I could just see in his face that was turning where he was like, "What in the fuck is going on?"
Yeah.
Because he was like, "That's not what I say at all."
Are you even listening?
Yeah, right. But sorry, DJ. But that's not what you say. What do you say?
It's Planet Cracker.
Uh-huh.
Sky rains death on us all.
Ooh, that's
Planet
even cool.
Cracker. The elders say the heavens fall.
That's even cooler than what I thought.
Yeah. Planet Cracker. Shadow over the sun. Planet Cracker. The last of the magic has won.
Ooh, that's badass.
Yeah. Well, it's probably because I'm singing it. No one can understand it.
No, that's all right. But
He's normally a few beers deep by the time we get to that song
Yeah.
in the set, for sure.
It's always like the last that we play.
so is it? So when you guys are, when you recorded that album, because it is what it's Planet Cracker. Obviously,
Crapper.
yeah,
Planet Crapper.
Planet Cracker, and then it's Blood and Steel, right?
Thunder and Steel.
Thunder and Steel. I'm just fucking this whole interview
No,
up.
go ahead.
It's all right. I mean,
Thunder and Steel, and then there's because it's what 5 songs, right?
Yeah. Bone Pit.
Bone Pit.
Broomstick
6.
Blues.
Okay. Swamp Stomper.
Nope, that's a new one. But I'm glad you like it.
I do like it. Yeah.
You wouldn't have said it if you didn't like it.
All right.
Fucking Ship Named Fever
Uh huh.
and Fire Wagon. Is that all of them? Am I liking
cool.
one?
I believe that's all of them. I have to do them in order still to remember it all.
But so what went into writing that album? Because was it a central idea in the whole EP, or is it these are the songs that we're most comfortable with? So these are the songs we're going to put out. Like, what went into behind putting those songs on the EP?
That's a hard one.
That's not an easy question to answer
Yeah.
because there's so much back before
Yeah.
we even like we already had material with our original guitarist Ted when we decided to part ways, and then we basically started from scratch and rewrote a couple things, had to rebuild everything as a three piece, and
Worked out well.
Mike Sherman and Mike had already had kind of a Rolodex of songs that he ideas that he wanted to work on when he took over on guitar duties, which I'm so glad you did also. It turned out like he showed up to practice.
I was nervous.
He showed up to practice to sing, but I had never seen him play guitar before, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I play guitar a little bit, no big deal." And then he's over here sweeping it up, and I'm like, "Wow."
All right, I'll take that.
Did he look
That felt
longingly
good.
at you, and he was playing guitar with the broom?
I think I was
was
just
like-
drooling
Essentially,
in the corner.
when me and Walt first played together, as far as instrumentation goes, we were in 69 position, hovering in the sky, and just deep throating each other
Unicorns
and playing, and
like
our
that.
guitars are clacking against each other.
Oh, nice. And you were
That's
like-
true.
And you were like, "Well, let's
Sounds like
form a band."
That sounds like there'd be some fucking tattoo.
Yeah.
You'd find in like some hole in the wall bar,
That's spooky.
crazy
Yeah.
Woodstock stories.
That's like some snug bar type of stuff.
It is, dude.
Ooh, burn on them.
It was chest hair against chest hair, baby.
I
Just here.
It was my chest hair against a bald chest.
oh, that's all right. I have a bald chest too.
Some of y'all are lucky like that. I'm not.
Yeah, you fucking gopher, dude.
But
I will say that just to reiterate on that last point, it wasn't like we shat out 6 tracks over a span of a few weeks. It was like we took a very long time to write and come up with the mythos and figure out how the stories connected to each other. And we didn't even have a 3-part harmony until we started writing Fire Wagon. And that's when we found out, wow, we can do that.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah.
And so we were in the practice space for days. I mean, it felt like a long time where we were just working on that one harmony that,
Yeah.
give me just a glimpse of light, a silver strand of thread.
Yeah.
And oh my God, we did it over and over and over again. And they were like,
T helped us a lot with that.
lot
oh yeah,
vocal.
shout out
He's
to Hot
very-
T, man.
Yeah.
He is amazing.
Love you,
He
buddy.
is amazing.
Yeah,
He's
we
a
love
smart cat, man. He's a good dude. And
And he's handsome.
he is, dude. That's why we call him Hot.
He's not as pretty as Dustin,
Uh,
but he is handsome.
He's pretty.
I would bang him just the same as I would
He's
bang
got like
Dustin.
he's got like the bear thing going,
Yeah, he's got the
Yeah.
bear.
Yeah.
He seems
Bear
like
thing.
he would snuggle you afterwards. You know,
Oh, he's a cuddler for
he'd
sure.
take care of you.
He's a cuddler.
It's no lie. And some of the songs evolved after that again, and I feel like we're constantly morphing as
Yeah.
time goes by. I think we've reinvented ourselves 2 or 3 times now.
Now, are you the type that's when you write something, you have it completed? Like you wrote, like let's say not Swamp Stomper, but let's say Bone Pit. You write that song, and then is it you go back and you're like, I didn't like this part, or maybe I want to do this differently, or let's add this here. Is it that, or are you more of you have it completed and then like that's it, and then maybe you'll
Oh no,
Just about every song we do, like, especially on the EP, like, I'm going to sing them differently because you figure out how you want to sing them afterwards, really. Because you get better at singing, you get better at playing guitar, so I play it totally different than I did from the EP, but close enough to where anybody that enjoys a song on the EP, they're still going to enjoy it, if not better live.
Well, and that's one thing that I think is great about your EP and your music is that it's so accessible because there is a lot of energy and there is those heavy parts and there is those screams, but it's not so much where it's too niche. And I don't mean that to be insulting.
No.
It's just that, it's very accessible. It's almost like Oberon, like those guys is, you don't have to know about science and all that stuff, or you don't have to know about, in your case, the wizards and
Being in that world, yeah.
being in that world is you can just listen to it and you can just appreciate it for what it is. And I think for me, anything, it needs to be easy listening or easily accessible. Because whenever I'm doing like one of my stand-ups is I want people to get the jokes and I want people to have fun. And I definitely want to throw in some of my influences. But like I love professional wrestling, but I don't want to do a whole set about pro wrestling and like the majority of people aren't going to get it because that's a very niche market.
Right.
But I feel like your music is the complete opposite, where it's very accessible. Like moms, dads, rebellious teens can all.
Not my
rock
mom
out
or
to-
my dad.
Are your parents? Because I've talked to people about this, not on the podcast, but like, what do your parents think? Are they just?
My parents were fully supportive about it, but I think, I'm not covering Journey,
Okay.
and I'm not covering George Strait. Might be a problem.
I was at.
But they are in full support,
Awesome.
which is good.
That is good. All right. What about you, Walt?
Oh,
Because your mom lives next door.
she does. I did buy the house next door to my mom. Hi, my life is a sitcom.
Raymond.
And, my mom is very supportive of, I wouldn't say necessarily that it's because I'm doing music. Like, she's supportive of doing music. She's just supportive of me pursuing my passions.
Yeah.
If my passion was anything,
I agree with that.
She would definitely support me because she knows it make me happy, And so my biggest obstacle, is babysitter, like, hey, if we want to get together, we want to get loud, I can take my kids over to Nani's house, and they just have a blast. And
If you were a pro fighter, would she hold the mitts for you? Is that how it works?
Yes.
I don't know if she'd be holding the mitts, or she'd probably try to fight the dude for me. It's like,
There you go.
How dare you? That's my baby.
That's my babe.
And my dad, I think he's more impressed when we make progress, or at least that's how I communicate to him. I was like, yeah, I play in a crusty rock band and we drank our way across Texas, but it's like, hey, we're playing at a brand new place today. And he was like, oh, that's pretty rad. I was like, hey, Dad, check out the size of this crowd. He's like, oh, wow, you play in a real band. And I'm like, well, yeah. Or like, hey, Dad, I filled out the articles for our LLC. He's like, what?
What? That's amazing.
Like, I blew his mind.
So he's like, oh, so you're in that band still, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's the official business.
He traded in his OU hat for a Crobone hat, and I would have never thought that'd been possible. So.
That's awesome.
Hey, we took you down, Crimson and Cream. Take that.
What about you, Dustin? You're quiet over there.
My parents aren't really involved in my life, so I don't know.
What about your awesome wife, Mackenzie? Is she pretty supportive of this?
Oh yeah, she's definitely supportive.
So what was it about Crobone that made you want to play drums for them?
Not a question we asked.
Yeah.
Fucking
Everything,
you better answer
really.
right.
I mean,
Answer well.
their music, their music is super dope. I mean, obviously, T's a fucking badass drummer. So I mean, I don't know. Everything really. Like, I like the storyline. I like all the music stuff. I've been wanting to play in another rock band for a while, and it just so happens that these guys turned up. So.
And you're still in Layers of Pink with your wife, Mackenzie, right?
Yeah.
How's that project going?
Great. We're about to release another single with that project too. So.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, everything's
And
moving along.
I really like Layers of Pink in that, like, I tell Mackenzie this all the time, and I probably bug her too much because I always want to hear Sun and Moon. And to me, like, that's because she gives that monologue where she's, well, not monologue, but she gives that intro where she's like, this song is about, when you're trying to love somebody and like they don't love you at that time or whatever, and it's kind of like you having to work through that. And being an awkward gentleman, I had to combat that a lot in high school, so I kind of get it, and it's like it makes me feel better that other people are shitty at are shitty at relationships like I am. If you guys heard that, that's Walter Jr. throwing around a bowl. So he's just. Is he going to be in a noise rock band when he gets older?
He will already play Dustin's drums when he has them
He's
set
a,
up.
drum,
okay.
he's a drummer, dude.
He's a drum boy. He just likes beating on stuff.
I think you guys, you need to like introduce him as that clown from Slipknot when he just like bangs on the keg. Just have him throw around metal bowls on the back.
Oh, trust me, man. You bust out a drumstick, it's on anywhere.
Oh, nice.
He sees that thing, he wants
just,
it.
There you go. So you can have a family band in the future, maybe.
Maybe. You know, my daughter's got just perpetual like stank face. So she'd be perfect front man.
Awesome.
I hate everything.
But all right. So what are some of the like local, maybe not even local venues, but what venues do you guys like to play? What are some of your favorite? And maybe to go on with that is like favorite stories, good or bad. You don't have to shout out the venue, but just venues first and then stories second.
I mean, like, I'm speaking for myself, but still, like, Blue Note's the, like, favorite place, man. There's always great people that show up there.
Yeah, no, Blue Note.
We've had some killer support, you being one of them.
Yeah. Booking
Many
there,
a times.
being there. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I when I first got my car, my paper tag had been expired for a month, and I was like, I'm probably just gonna go see Crobone, and if I get pulled over, I get pulled over.
Well,
So, but what
we're
about
worth
you,
the
Walt?
risk.
Yeah, right.
Thank
You
you.
really are. It's awesome.
I'll take that.
What about you, Walt?
I'm trying to sort through the stories that are memorable, but not the ones that are going to get me in trouble
Well, I don't want to do
for
that.
telling this story. But I wasn't directly involved. How PG is this podcast? How about
I
that?
mean, you can say whatever you want.
Whatever I want. Okay.
You
Well,
can curse.
I definitely didn't do it, but one of my more memorable experiences from the Blue Note is the first time, like, we had started getting popular. And what I mean is, like, people were actually coming to shows. There was more like 4 people in a room, and like we were playing the Blue Note often enough that it was like, oh, we're gonna go see Crowbone at the Note. It felt really good, like it's not a huge venue, so a small amount of people makes it seem like a big crowd.
Oh yeah.
But I was feeling definitely like, oh, I have attained some modicum of success. And even more so when someone offered me cocaine at the Blue Note. And it was like the first time, like, oh my God, I feel like a real rock star. But he's like, he busts it on the back of the urinal. And
I remember this.
I was like, I'm out, dog. Thank you.
I'm not gonna snort that off the back
Like,
of
he
a
was
urinal.
gung ho about it. Like, hell yeah, we're going to do this together. And I'm like, no, we're not.
No, you can snort your pissy smelling.
It could have been the best shit in the world. I'm not snorting on the back of a urinal.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a different level.
If you
That's
know
awesome.
if you know the piss trough that I speak of in the men's bathroom.
Yeah, that's right,
in
because
the-
it doesn't have a door.
Yeah,
It's
there's no
like-
door, and there's also there's like a space to put your beer that goes. It's literally a trough, if you will,
Yeah.
and there's
It seats at least 4.
yeah there's a lip on the trough, and I have personally seen that full of puke before
Ooh.
when someone was like too drunk peeing and had filled that thing up, just like blowing chunks, and I'm like, no, there's just no way I'm doing that.
No way, dude.
So kudos to that guy. He's got some chest hair. That's
Wait,
for sure.
okay, so like it was actually on the fucking trough? Like,
No, it's on the-
okay, it was
on
on
the
the
lip.
lip. Okay,
Yeah,
I was
it's
like,
on the-
wait.
yeah. But either way, like, come on. You don't have like you don't have like a pocket mirror.
That's true. Yeah.
I just if
you
you're
don't have like a little spoon or a set of
Well,
keys.
I feel like if you're a cokehead, you should be prepared, right?
Yeah,
he might
No,
have
you
not
don't
been
need
a
to
cokehead.
fucking
He
put
could
it
have
on
been. He could have just been excited. It was like, oh, it was my first time with cocaine. I'm gonna do it with the guy that just played the show or something. It's kind of like, no.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass on that.
That's interesting.
What's probably funny is both of your wieners were out probably during that conversation.
Oh, for sure.
It's like, dude, we can do this somewhere else. It doesn't have to be this immediate.
Oh no, not me. I don't do that at all.
What about you, Dustin? You got any stories about the Note or any the other venues that you played?
The Note was definitely the first place I've ever played it. Yeah, I love the Note. I don't think I have any special stories though.
Might have to get closer to the mic.
Yeah, and we want the. Come on, man.
Special stories. I was probably underage the first time I was in there.
Nice. Yeah, for sure.
That's it's probably about it. I don't think I have any
No crazy
stories like that.
Also, New Drunken Fry is awesome.
Oh, awesome! I haven't been there.
You haven't?
No, I guess I need
Yeah.
to.
It's a really cool venue.
Like we had a show out there. That might have been one of the last shows we've had there. Was that the last show we played?
Because you guys played. Because that was with Dire Gnome, right, out there.
No, that was with Mary Walker's and your
Local Man Ruins Everything.
Yeah, Local Man Ruins
okay.
Everything.
Yeah, okay.
But it was a great. It was a great show,
It was
man.
a great group of musicians and a great crowd.
Great crowd. It was a
Everything
really
kinda
fun
came
time.
together.
And that's the New Drunken Fry.
It's kind of like they reopened Rubber Gloves down in Denton. It used to be a real shitty dive bar apparently, and they reopened it, and it's not bad. I mean, it's a pretty cool little place there, and they have a restaurant next door, and the staff is super great. Everyone's super nice, and they had a vegan taco truck outside that night a few weeks ago when Oberon played down there with Silver Tongue Devil and Diesel Beast and the Great Hanging. So we went down there and hung out with those guys, and it was pretty awesome. But as far as the Blue Note, I had invited Diesel Beast. I think you guys played. Did you guys play Diesel Beast? Okay, you guys,
Yeah,
Diesel Beast, and then Oberon.
We've played with them twice now.
Yeah.
Diesel Beast. Yeah.
So then, so that was Oberon, you guys, and then Diesel Beast. And I'm not gonna say her name, but my friend had gave me an edible, and it was 30 milligrams of straight THC, and I had never.
It's a crossover.
Yeah, I've never done edibles, so then I did that, and I got really fucking high, almost too high, and like people were talking to me, and I was like getting really paranoid, and I was just like sinking into my seat, and I was like, I was waiting for my heart was slowing down, and I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna die, and like and Kevin was talking to me the whole time, and like he was like, hell yeah, brother, blah blah blah, hell yeah, brother, and then I kind of like did this head nod thing, and then my buddy Eric thought like I was having a mental breakdown because he was coming over and talking to me, and it was so sweet because he like knelt down beside me and gave me a hug, and he put my head on his chest, and he was like, hey man, it's all right. He's like, I'm here for you or whatever, and like I never felt so safe. But in my mind, I was like, my heart's gonna stop. I'm just gonna die. So I was like, and then I think some other stuff had happened, but I actually same bathroom. I went into that trough bathroom, and there was no place to pee, and then I don't know how long I was standing there because I went in there and it was full, and then like I blinked my eyes and then everything was clear, and then this dude come up behind me. He was like, "Dude, what are you doing?" And I was like, I gotta pee. He's like, well then go fucking pee. He's like, what the fuck? He's like, are you high? He's like, what's wrong with you? And I was like, man, I think I'm gonna die. And he's like, he was just staring at me, very confused. And then he was like, man, what a fucking pussy. And he was like, but he muttered it, but he kind of said it to me, and he went and used the bathroom. And like my reaction time was real slow because I was like, because he had left, and then by that time another guy came in. And I was like, fuck you, man. so then the second guy was like, he was like, what? He's like, what are you talking about, man? And he was like real like offended by it. I was like, oh, that was for the other guy, the asshole. And he was like, oh. He's like, all right, man. He's like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, man, I'm good. And then I don't know how long that was. I guess it had been over 30 minutes because I was like missing for like 30, 40 minutes. And then I was like, oh, I forgot I had to pee. So I went in there and peed. And I walked back out. And then I was like, what the fuck happened? Because everybody was clearing out. And so I just went to another dimension, a.k.a. that men's bathroom, for about an hour.
Dude.
That's how bad those
I get that.
those edibles are. Yeah. So I never saw that first guy. I seen that second guy. That
You're
was like,
fuck you.
Yeah, I was
You're
like,
like, what?
Yeah, but
you're not the one that called me a pussy? Well,
but
sorry.
I didn't say it confidently either. I was just like, hey, fuck you. He was like, what? What are you talking about? We're buddies. We're
That's
friends.
a great story.
Yeah, so That's my only Blue Note story in the bathroom. So sorry about that. It was funny.
Oh, that is something I do love about the Blue Note is, you're like, fuck you. And instead of the guy like, oh, we're fighting right now. He's like, are you okay, man?
Yeah, that's true.
He was so compassionate. And then I think I came back out and Eric was like, where'd you go, man? He's like, we thought you ran away. And he was like really concerned. He like used his dad voice like, he's about to call me champ. Where'd you go, champ? He didn't. And I just wanted to play catch with him right there, but didn't happen. So, but anyways.
You know that outside bathroom at Blue Note?
Oh yeah,
It's like I've been walked in on taking a poo poo there twice, and like if Walt's outside, I'm like, hey, dude, will you watch this fucking door for me?
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
Like guard the
It's like,
door.
come on, like nobody likes to be walked in on while they're poo pooing.
It's just a very vulnerable moment.
And you also
Hey, buddy.
what's up?
Hey, Walter Jr.
Nobody likes to be walked in on while they're poo pooing, and
It's going deadly.
and everybody has the same thing that they say when they walked in on when you're taking the doo doo, right?
There's like, oh, close
What
the
do,
door.
what do you say? What do you say if I
Well-
walked on you taking a shit?
I would
what do
be
you say?
I would say, I would say, whoopsie, whoopsie, or I'd be like, what are you doing? Close the door.
I don't know why, but I always go Spanish mode, and I say occupado, which I know actually probably isn't a word, but instead of me saying like get the fuck out, what are you doing? Taking a shit, or even being calm, just be like I'm in here,
Whoopsie.
all sprawled out,
Yeah, well, I grew up in a family because there was 5 of us growing up in a 4-bedroom house plus my parents. So like, and we only had the one bathroom, so I was used to people walking in or knocking the door or whatever.
But you lock it everywhere else you go, don't you?
Well, yeah, because of that, because growing up like that, so
Yep.
I tried to lock it and stuff. But I like when people walk in or whatever, I find that people get mad at me for not locking the door, or like people get mad that I'm in there pooping because I was
Pooping.
yeah, well, defecating. I was using the bathroom at Jack in the Box one time, and the door was locked, and some guy was trying to open it. And he was beating on the door. He's like, "What are you doing in there, man?" He's like, "Hey, come on, get out! I gotta use the bathroom. And then like 5 minutes had went by, so like I finished up, washed my hands, and walked out. And he was like, "Man, what were you in there? Were you just in there taking a shit?" And he was like really like angry about it. And I was like, "Yeah, man, I had to use the bathroom." And he was like, "Man, you got us out here waiting." But it was only him. So I really
Us.
us like
Yeah.
third
He's like
person.
He's like Smeagol.
Yeah, right. He's like, "You got Mike out here waiting," and he's like referring to himself in third person.
Yeah.
That would have been a cool gimmick, but
Yeah. If I had a superpower, it would be walking in on people taking a shit.
well, we live different lives, amigo.
I walked in on Kevin Ogle, believe it or not.
The fucking meteorologist.
Yeah. At a Freddy's Frozen Custard taking a shit, dude. And it's like his like fucking ape pants were like dragging on the tile. And he's like in here. That's so everybody has a line, right? His was in here, like in here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, clearly you are. I see you. Sorry. So my line is like occupado.
Was he packing? Kelly
Was he
Ogle?
packing?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sure his wiener touched the water.
Ah, okay.
But I did walk in on Kevin Ogle taking a shit at Freddy Frozen's Custard, and nobody really believes that, but I know it.
shout out
believe
to
it.
Shout out to
shout out to Kevin Ogle.
no, shout out to Freddy Frozen Custard.
Yeah,
They
Freddy
made it
Frozen.
happen.
Well, yeah, the universe had to build that Freddy's Frozen Custard
Just
And
for this.
for
man.
me-
just for you to walk in on Kevin Ogle pooping.
Yeah, I should have touched him.
Well, I mean,
Not in his privates,
yeah.
but like I should have just ran up and touched him one time, be like, "Oh, I'm famous too, dude."
Well, you could have like took a picture of him and then like
That'd have
blackmailed him,
That'd have been great.
and then he would have been like, "Hey, I'm gonna sue you," or you would have said, "I'll do you one better. How about you let me be on your podcast on your show as your assistant?" And
Yeah.
then he would pretty much have to let you.
Yeah, he would have to,
And
because
it-
I have a picture of his like ape hands laying on the tile, and this
So
smelly.
wait, so he had his like arms to the side, like dragging on.
Well,
knuckle
pretty like
dragging?
he had them down. Obviously, they weren't touching the floor,
Oh.
but he's a freak of a man, dude. Like he's huge.
What? Why would you walk in on a guy like that?
He didn't lock the door. It wasn't my fault. And just like you said earlier, people get mad at you, not locking the door. I mean, I was like, "Oops, dude, sorry, you didn't lock the fucking door, and I don't knock." So.
I never thought anybody would poop with their hands down, though. I feel like most people shit with their hands in their lap or something. I don't know.
His arms were like, dude, his arms were
a
down.
forearm guy,
His
like,
arms
like.
I'm gonna go ahead and tell I'm gonna tell a quick story here. Like now, every time I come over to Walt's, you know where I'm going, probably, don't you?
I hope not.
Okay, that's fine. It's gonna happen.
Let's do it.
I'll message Walt, be like, "Hey, dude, everything good? I'm outside." Because one time I walked in, Walt was taking shit with the door open, and he was trying to get Shorty potty trained. Y'all were teaming up to put.
Well, I was in there, and he opens the door on me because I didn't. I mean, I'm in my own house. Why would I lock the bathroom door?
This is the move. I walk in loud enough for Walt to know that I'm there, but I get to walk all the way up to the door to see Walt shit, and he goes like this. He was like, leave. Back outside. And I'm like, oh, my bad. And I'm laughing my ass off all the way outside. It's like you couldn't have been like, hey, I'm in the shitter. Or,
Please don't come in.
Yeah.
It was just a moment of sheer panic.
Like, go.
That was like
he hand wafted me. I'm like,
didn't even tell you go. He was just like,
he just did one hand thing. It was pretty powerful, really. It worked. I just laughed the whole way out.
What's it like to wield that much power, Walt?
Whoa. It's all about Aleister Crowley, the projection of will.
Yeah.
It's
Like, I don't want you here.
Yeah.
I'm doing something right now. Go back outside. Yeah, he wafted me away.
That was something.
It worked.
I was in
quick,
tears
too.
outside laughing
He
so
was
hard.
zero question about it. I just gave him the motion. He's like, all right.
I was
done."
like, oh.
Not a moment of hesitation. He like spun on his heel like a soldier or something.
See you later.
Like, out.
Did he salute you when he was leaving?
Oh, no salute. It wasn't even it was just
No, yeah, it was roll out. It was beeline.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so Dustin, I'm so not letting you off the hook for that rock. I want to hear some rock and roll show stories. Dave.
Oh,
Yeah. Let's
Gotta give me at least one.
Oh. One. Let's see.
Take the Crossroads story,
Oh,
like,
okay. The Crossroads story. What's funny is that I met you guys right after the Crossroads, pretty much. Like, came over here and had this whole thing going. Yeah. The Crossroads is fun, actually. We came back from a work trip, and I don't know, it was just on my mind. I'd been watching that documentary and everything, so I wanted to go check it out. It was cool. It's fucking creepy as shit. You go down there at night at midnight and you're hanging out. Like,
You talking about the Robert Johnson Crossroads?
yeah.
Okay.
So there's like 3 different ones, so it's confusing because we did like a bunch of research and everything to see like where we should actually go. But the one that I think is the real Crossroads is the one out by Dockery Farms. It's like a little bit away from there, like you could probably walk it. It seems like, there's been a lot of traffic there for a while, but it's creepy as shit. It was cool though.
Hell yeah.
Collected some dirt and came back, and now I'm here rocking with these guys, so we'll see what happens.
Is that where they what was it, Bone Thugs and Harmony recorded that song or that video? Meet you at the crossroads so you won't be lonely.
I don't know. Actually.
I think so.
I'm gonna miss everybody.
Yeah.
That's a good group, though.
I love Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Well, I gotta go pee, so you guys talk amongst yourselves.
What?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
All right, here we go. Let's give it a go.
We can just take a
All right,
peek.
so what
Let's
other
talk
rock
shit on
stories-
Jesse.
Yeah, talk shit.
Oh, okay.
All right, I'll be right back.
Guys, Jesse's dick is so big. What's funny is we actually are probably going to just sit here and be quiet until he's back.
I mean,
He can edit it out later.
yeah, you can. That bitch.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome. Yeah. Oh,
Hey, buddy. I'm so glad I invested in that particular baby gate. That one's a good one.
hi, Mac.
Yeah, one's been asleep since like 5 minutes. She just leaned over on me and just fell asleep. I was trying to make her a bottle, but couldn't find the formula and she was already out. I just leave her in that bed and I'm just gonna check her.
Oh, she'll She's fine, man.
Shout out to Mac from Layers of Pink for watching the kiddos for us right now.
Mac, hooking it up. Babysitting duty. We'll get her on the microphone in a bit.
You know, this is me at home right here by myself. What? Is that not funny to you?
Do you not hear me chuckle?
You kind of did.
I'm quiet normally. I have to use my dad voice because of the podcast.
Harder.
You guys got any other rock stories?
Oh, we have.
I gotta think of some. I'm sure we.
Dustin's leaving.
Yeah.
For those of you listening.
Go take a poop and think about it.
Where
Yeah.
you got to go poop in this?
He's
man's house?
pooping.
No.
You can.
No, he poops
I
outside.
save that for my own house.
Me?
Or the gym.
Oh,
those
not
are
me,
the
dude.
only two places
The
I
gym?
like to do it.
I'll poop anywhere.
Do you just go to the gym to poop?
He
Well,
poop.
because
He
it's
doesn't
like-
flush.
I don't like, like the real stalls or like the cracks in between because people are like, I don't know. I always feel like somebody's gonna just walk in and like take a peek at me and be like, "What up, dude?"
Well, you are you are hot,
Leave
so
me
like,
alone.
He only poops at the gym to not flush to make the next guy mad.
god damn, that's a power move.
Straight power.
I like to do it.
That's
Straight power move.
That's big dick energy.
That
Big
is.
energy.
But what were we talking about? Oh yeah, so I don't even know what we were talking about. Fill me in.
Was your pee that good?
Oh no, that's what I was gonna say. Is yeah, right. It was
I'll take one.
Please.
Shout out
Getting-
to Dustin.
He's getting the
Making
beers.
making the beer runs.
Making the beer.
See?
But well, your toilet is like you would have to be, because if Mikey walked in on you, or well, when Mikey walked in on you, he would have had to come out the side. So you did like a side swipe.
Yes, like this.
This is
Oh no, wrong hand. This hand.
yeah. This-
Yeah, because
the go on. Thank you.
Because I was thinking that your bathroom was you facing towards the door, and then you walked them away.
Oh no, it was a full blown. It was a very vulnerable moment.
Well, will you hand me that
Ambush
beer?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Thank
those are
you.
all mine.
Coors Light, huh? Hopefully we can.
Where'd
get
you
them a
put these beers in the oven?
Jesus.
God, they're not even cold.
Aw, poor Dustin. He tried.
They're cold enough.
So, what are some of you guys' influence? Because I noticed you're wearing a Motorhead shirt.
Mm-hmm.
There, Mikey, and
That's both of our influences.
and Mikey, not Mikey, Motorhead and Duel. Those are two of your influences.
We really like Duel.
Yeah, they're a band we play with quite a bit, and
We played with, I think, like 3 times.
Yeah, they're an awesome band.
I haven't picked
Yeah.
up their newest record yet. I don't know why. It's been busy, but I got their Live at the Electric Church
Yep, Electric Church. Yeah, that's a
record,
good one.
and dude, I've been spinning that one just over and over and over and over again. I love the production on it. It sounds really cool.
Are you more of a you have to buy physical copies, or do you stream stuff?
It really depends. I just like buying stuff from bands. Like if I see a band play, I know what it's like to be that cat. So I want to buy a CD straight from. Plus, you get
Yeah.
the good
Or, you know, at
stories.
least a shirt or a hat or something.
Most of the time, they're like, "Oh shit, someone wants to buy something. Take a sticker." You know, like I'm that guy too.
Well, that's one of the things is I got to buy one of these cool ass hats. If you guys got any,
We'll just put
yeah.
one on you.
Yeah, we got it. We got
Oh,
a few, man.
well, shit.
A few left. We'll have to get
This-
some more
this-
from Joe. Joe
this-
Gresham from CG Printing does all our merch. As well. As a plug.
He's a good guy.
It's good-
Again,
good
say it
cat.
again.
CG Printing, Joe Gresham.
He's the dude.
does he have a Instagram, Facebook, anything? You
Yeah.
want
He has everything.
Yeah, he's
Where
got
can
his
people
own
find
website.
that?
Facebook. He's got his own Google website, the cgprinting.com. You can also order online from him, but I mean, we just go straight up to his shop, and we pitch ideas back and forth.
He's a good dude. He works with everybody, man.
You guys just break into this man's house and you're like, for my next idea.
I mean, it's just when we, like our stage banner. He made sure that happened, and we gave him the idea, and he helped fit the design actually on the canvas. But he did that in Photoshop.
Yeah.
I sent him.
And it looks great.
I sent him the concept, and he actually put the thing together from artwork we had bought.
This is a big old bitch.
And it is big bitch.
8 by 10.
A BB dub.
Yeah. It's a big, beautiful banner.
Yeah, that too. So can you guys talk about like merch and stuff and being in like shows and stuff like that, and setting up that merch booth. Like, how important is merch to you guys and to bands in general? Like, because that's one thing I notice is that I'll go to shows or I'll see a killer local band, and they'll be awesome, they'll be great, and they'll have maybe like an EP, but then that's it. Because I'm more likely I stream a lot of stuff. Because I don't have a CD player. I don't have any way to actually play.
Boo,
I know, one of those
yes.
guys. I don't have anything to play one of those guys' CDs.
I can't say shit about that. I'm a YouTube guy.
Yeah, right. YouTube or Spotify
Yeah, that's
or
a problem.
But I'm more than likely to buy like a T-shirt or a hat or a sticker or anything like that. But you guys have some awesome merch. You have some really killer merch, and can you talk a little bit about that? Like about how important merch is to bands?
Oh yeah, I mean, like it makes up for all the money that you're losing, essentially. To me,
It's not even. I'll tell you right now. I know you're only asking this question because you're trying to get the conversation topic started. You work with bands enough to know the answer, and the answer is you have no band without merch.
yes,
There is no band without merch.
Nothing.
There is no gas in your gas tank without merch.
I feel like you verbally punched me in the face right there.
I know you
No, I
help
know,
us
it's
book
good,
shows.
yeah.
Like, you're
Yeah.
tight with the DJ and the boys in Oberon. You're tight with us. I mean, you
gotta
work-
sell merch in a band.
Gotta
yeah.
sell merch.
I try and send bands when
But I mean, like-
bands hit me up. I try and send them your way. Like, you're involved in that.
Right. But I think it's more, the question is more for those like upcoming bands. And I guess maybe to tag along to that is guys that are starting bands or that don't have any experience. What is like some of the advice for them?
Get more merch.
Get more. It's called the illusion of choice.
Yeah.
And it's a sales technique, man. And the more stuff you have on the table, the more likely people want to buy things. Not because they have more choices, because you're giving them the illusion of choice.
And be sure the artwork, everything means something to you, because it's gonna mean something to the people that give a fuck.
Well, there was and to kind of tag along on that is there was this band where they had like an eagle, like an outline of an eagle or a hawk. They couldn't decide on what it was because you would ask one member, he'd say, "Oh, it's an eagle." You'd ask another member, "Oh, it's a hawk."
Yeah.
But they had that, and then it had like I think red and white stripes on its like wings or whatever, and then there was like an X in the middle, and then there was like a semicircle around it, and I was like, "Oh, what does any of this mean?" And then none of them,
Were all their stories different?
yeah, and they were like, "Well,
That's not good.
the red
Yes.
means like valor because like my brother was." In the military force, and the white is for like we will never surrender. That's why you have the X in the middle is like we'll never surrender, and and then the semicircle is like we're on this journey where like it's not fully complete, but then another guy was like, oh yeah, well we just like the look of it, and another guy was like, yeah, well like my favorite colors were red and white, so that's why I suggested it. So I think that's really alarming because it's like
It should mean something specific
Yeah,
to the
right, what you
band,
said,
to
yeah.
each member, and it's okay if it's different for each member what it means, but as long as like it all meets somewhere,
it all says it makes sense.
We had that design with the Reaper like at a trailer park, grilling out,
that was awesome.
and like
yeah.
that's something that meant like that was an idea that we all did together.
Yeah, when we hit up David Paul Seymour to do the
Yeah.
artwork, we didn't buy a pre-made design from him for that. We're like, hey, we want a Grim Reaper drinking beer in a trailer park, like he's on vacation, and
He's
or he's
time
like,
out, yeah.
Yeah, this is what I do when I'm not collecting the souls of the damned.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And
Fuck yeah.
and I think your most favorite T-shirt is it because I have it black and it's blue ink, but it's the black shirt and he's holding
The Stein
yeah,
design.
I think a beer and then the cigarette.
Yep.
So and you guys had who did you have to design that for you?
That man, I don't want to try to pronounce his name, but he's from Indonesia.
Mm-hmm.
It was a guy I found on fucking Instagram, and his artwork is amazing. It's
We'll have to throw some links up. In the podcast.
Angezz. Never mind, I'm gonna fuck it up again.
That's all right. Is it just one name or is it?
That's his Instagram handle, If I could pronounce his real name, I would do it. Absolutely.
Okay, but he's on Instagram.
He's on Instagram. It's when we post this podcast, I'll put it in there because his fucking artwork is beautiful.
Hell yeah.
Perfect, dude.
Mike actually put a lot of work to make that happen as well. So kudos.
Yeah, and like
He was trying to get us to decide.
He's
on-
incredibly affordable, and yeah, and like as far as that language barrier, not a problem. We all sat in here and we like drew up a half-ass sketch and told him this is like the basic stuff we wanted, and
Sent it to him.
it was like
he
a
knocked it out of the park,
a breath
dude.
of fresh air, dude.
Oh yeah. Well, I think I went, and when I went to see Eagle Claw, actually went with Sam for that show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw you guys there.
Yeah. Me and Sam went up. Yeah, you were there, Will. So we went up there and I seen Eagle Claw, and they have some really awesome merch as well. And
Great theme.
Yes.
very
Great
much.
theme.
They keep it. Everything they keep in that like pocket.
From the record to the stage show to the color scheme to their merch.
Like black
Those
and red.
dudes are. I cannot believe. I can't believe Ripple turned them down, as far as I'm aware. When I talked to the guitar player, and I couldn't believe it because that if it was up to me, I would pull the trigger on Eagle Claw for sure.
Oh hell yeah, for sure.
Maybe there's people aren't digesting instrumental music, and since they don't have a vocalist,
As far as I know, Jeff Henson did that record.
did a great job,
It's
man.
a great job.
Sounds
No,
awesome.
They were fucking awesome. They're awesome. So is Being Without. So is Lucid Awakening out of Tulsa. So those are
We
just
played
like,
with them a couple times.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. No, those guys, all three of those bands are fucking awesome. But no, I was gonna say, the guy that did their artwork is named Steven Yoyada. So it's Steven Steven, and the last name is Yoyada Yoyada. And then he's on Instagram. So I've been talking with him and trying to get some designs and stuff going for the Wide Entertainment, the booking that I do. But also, I think since I started this, I'd maybe talk to him a little bit about this podcast artwork. So
That'd
which-
be awesome.
Yeah, pair them up, dude, and like maybe not make them so different.
yeah, for sure.
I mean,
so
it's your
it's kind of a
identity.
central theme. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but DJ actually does all of my flyers and stuff. I'll let you talk a second, but
Yeah.
But DJ, he does all the artwork and stuff for the White Deer Entertainment and also for this podcast, which is the Needless Potato podcast.
Great name.
Thank you. So he did the design and everything, so he did all that work. So definitely shout outs to DJ Bryant because
DJ!
he's the
He's
fucking
so
man. But
sexy.
what were you gonna say?
Oh, just I wanted to put the cap in the merch talk too. You know, we're talking about advice for newer bands. Write your music, but do not play a show without merch. Just don't do it. If you're trying to test the waters, it's cool. But buttons are super cheap. It doesn't matter if you have one thing. You know, you're gonna connect. You connect with at least one person to every show you play. If you play your show right, you might as well send that person home with something that they're gonna remember the experience. But we fell into that. We fell into that cliche where we're like, all right, well, the show's good, so it's good. But we played a show with Great Electric Quest when they rolled through, and you know, they took some time with us to really be like, hey man, if your guys' tunes are solid, so this is what you need to do if you're going to try and get on the next level. It's like, you got to have merch, you got to have that. So T Sweat from Great Electric and you know, Buddy Donner, Mucho Drums, and you know, all the guys there really kind of playing shows with those cats. You know, it kind of gave us an idea of kind of what we wanted to do. And Mike also put in a lot of work to get our new merch design. It's like we wouldn't decide on one, so he got 3 different artists together, and
All which that were really good.
yeah, and then we picked we picked one, and his prices were too high, so we went together. And it's like he's got this design of a T-Rex riding a skateboard doing like a trick, you know, and you're like, wow, that's fucking rad. So
It just looks great.
that's how we found the guy. And our other merch too, it you know, all of it has something to do with the greater part of the band. And I think if you have that visual, auditory, sensory experience to your show, it's really going to separate you from hobbyists. You know, if you come at it from a more professional attitude, and it can be done without spending a lot of money as well if you take the time to really think about what your mythos is going to be.
Oh, yeah. Well, I appreciate that detailed answer because that's I've asked that question before, just in normal conversation, and some people have said either, oh, yeah, I don't know, I just liked it, or they're like, yeah, merch is important, and that's it. And then I'm just like, okay, I'll stop talking to you right now.
Yeah, I mean,
But I'm glad that means that it's important enough for you that to give that kind of answer, because I feel like
it really shouldn't be like, hey, we're going to get merch because we're going to sell That's what
right.
we're trying to sell T-shirts. It's like, no, you're selling an experience.
Well,
bands deal in, you deal in an experience-based economy instead of, physical items. Yes, you're selling CDs, but we're not in that world anymore where you can make a living doing that. You really have to sell an experience at your show if you're going to make it really,
Word.
If you want to just play in your hometown with your buddies and that's your goal, you can totally do that, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you want to be able to afford to play outside of your hometown, you're going to need to adopt that into your business model, unless you have rich parents.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But just kind of winding down, what about you, Dustin? Because you guys have some awesome merch with being in Layers of Pink. And what kind of goes into that for you guys? Is it more of McKinsey, or is it more of yourself, or?
It's a little bit of both. I mean, obviously McKinsey is like final say on everything, and she always has,
That's a good answer.
the biggest vision for everything.
Sure.
Yeah. But yeah, we always bounce ideas off of each other. Mackenzie and I actually, with everything we've had up to this point, we've pretty much made it all ourselves. We've made candles ourselves. We've made T-shirts ourselves. The only thing we haven't, we've done some of the artwork ourselves, but the biggest art piece we've had on a T-shirt, we had somebody else do. But yeah, it's all well thought out and necessary. Like they're saying, you're selling an experience, and like you really do need all that stuff to live. I know whenever we went on tour, like we wouldn't have made it across the West Coast if we wouldn't have had merch.
Hell yeah.
And if we
True
weren't
that.
selling our experience, because people buy into that, and if they're not buying into your experience, then
They're not believing in it either.
yeah.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, it's kind of winding guys down.
Why you want to wind me down?
I don't know.
Are you trying to wind me up?
I think I've been
down
staring
me?
at you because you're sitting across from me. Actually, I'm sitting across from all three of you guys, which is
Yeah.
kind of
But
odd.
you're locked in on
Yeah,
me.
but like I've been staring at you, and I'm
You
like,
want this?
I'm like, is this the time? Like, do we announce it here in this plum room?
You're gonna have to work harder.
I'm pretty sure the shade is called
To get this.
grape juice.
Grape juice. Okay, but maybe tune in next time. But listeners out there. Anyways, so kind of winding down. Where can people find you? Because you guys are on Instagram, obviously. You're on Facebook. You kind of plug those links and stuff.
We haven't been as active because we're in that rebirth process when you
Going through the metamorphosis.
add a new member, and then you're figuring out where the energies lie, where you're gonna sit in vocals and all that jazz. But you can find us on Crobone Band at Instagram.com.
Yep.
And we're at
Crobone on Facebook. We're very excited for our new drummer, Dustin Fox.
He's Foxy.
Woo! Everybody go woo! Everybody go woo! Woo! Real quick. 1, 2, 3. Woo! Ooh! Woo! Dustin Fox is the new drummer for Crobone, and we are going to fucking get back on it. Planning for March.
If not sooner, depending on circumstances. It's really we're not getting out until it's gonna be tight. So
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, thanks again, guys. Thanks for letting me drive all the way up here and interview you and do this whole shebang.
thank you, man. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But all right, guys. Well, thanks for listening. That was I've been Jesse White Deer, and you guys have been
Crobone.
The Bone Crow.
the Bone Crow.
Crobone. All right, we'll do the cheesy. Hey, we're Crobone, based out of Oklahoma City. So
Okay, we'll do it in 1, 2, 3. So, thanks for listening,
Just say
guys.
that I'm just, oh,
Oh,
you go ahead first.
No.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
I've been
I'm
Jesse White
White
Deer.
Deer.
I've been White
White
Jesse
Deer,
Deer.
Deer.
White
Jesse Deer.
Jesse White Deer.
Deer.
White Jet. Who am I?
Buzz Whiteyear.
Buzz. Yeah, Buzz Lightyear. Actually, real quick, I'll say this. There was this really weird guy in high school. He used to call me Jesse Atmosphere, and like to like make fun of me, and like because people would say because White Deer is not my legal last name. It's my family name, but legally it's not my last name. My last name is actually White. But I've gone by White Deer since I've been, since I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And it's way back in the day, like my grandpa's grandpa, his last name is Throwaby. Is that the actual pronunciation of it in Choctaw? So that was the family name. But when they were converting everyone and giving them English names, they changed his name to whatever it was to Samson White. That's kind of how that came to be. So, anyways, fast forward to me. I'm going to school. People know me as White Deer, Jesse White Deer. And then there's this really weird guy who was like, "Hey, Jesse Atmosphere, how's the weather up there, spaceman?" And then
God.
and then like anytime we come in, he'd be like, "Hey, we got a celebrity in the house. Here's the astronaut, Jesse White Deer." But then I've heard like light beer and white queer, light beer, white queer.
Okay, that's far.
Yeah, a little bit, but I think the worst is when people find out my name is actually White. They'll say, "Hey, Jesse, you're not white." Ha 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 ha.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
and I'm like, yeah, and then I get to see it because like when people are like, "Your last name is White," and I can see that little fucking shitty grin on
my
their face,
God.
and I'm like, "Yeah, I know, I'm not white." They're like, "I wasn't even gonna say that, dude."
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were.
That's what we're doing now.
Yeah. Anyways, but I've been Jesse White Deer, and you guys have been
Crobone.
Crobone. All right. Yep. Check them out, and thanks for listening.
Love you.